my name is Jennifer Witz, and I'm a partner in the Client Advisory Services practice here at CohnReznick, and I am joined here today with Michelle Voyer. Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michelle Voyer. I'm a director in our Client Advisory Services practice, and my primary focus is on software, technology, automation, and AI.
So Michelle, with your role, you are obviously the perfect person for us to talk to today about technology. And so in your experience as you're working with executives, how are they changing their expectations as it relates to technology, especially for automation and AI?
I would say when we're speaking with executives, what is honestly very refreshing is that they are wanting to be more involved in the solutions, not just the what are you going to do and when are you going to do it, but the how are you going to get there. And I think it comes because they are recognizing perhaps getting to a point where they're feeling a little stuck in their processes and technology, and they know change is required, and they want to avoid band-aiding solutions any longer, right? So I think it's actually been a really great, let's say, couple of past years where we're seeing really an uptick in the engagement in the right solutions, which I think has been really cool.
So as a company is looking to adopt AI automation, what are some change management things that they should consider?
When it comes to change management, which is huge with any adoption, especially talking about AI technology and transformation in that space. So you want to really make sure that your team is aligned with where the organization is going. You don't want this to sneak up on them and almost feel like it has been prescribed to them. And so I think it is just really crucial to make sure that you're bringing your team in early on. And now, does that have to be at the very first step? I think not, but I do think that once you get to a certain level, perhaps when you get to almost like a system selection type of place, that it's really time to make sure that you're bringing your team into the mix and making them feel part of the solutions. And that's where you're going to get the greatest buy-in, the greatest ideas and insights from your team to help inform where to go.
Would you also recommend looking at some data structure, some readiness type activities behind the scenes?
100%. And I think this is where it comes to making sure that you are tackling the right things at the right time, and the data will really help bring that to fruition. And we like to usually recommend a phased approach, and you don't want to just tackle everything all at once. Here, let's solve 10 problems in Q4. So we do make sure that that we look at the data, and we especially through interviews and discovery processes at all different levels, to really surface up what are the things that are going to have the greatest impact and in the shortest amount of time, and what are some of the things that are maybe a little bit more long-term solutions that it's good to think about now, because you don't want to implement phase 1 solutions that are not going to jive with your phase 2 solutions. So you can map it all out, and the data is obviously really important as a piece of that process.
Well, as we think through a phased approach, and I think almost everyone's approaching it that way because we're trying to integrate AI into our daily lives as well as our professional lives. So how do you see over time AI impacting the day-to-day of an accountant?
So number one is, I think the way we're using AI in our personal lives, I think is spilling into our professional lives as well, because I think we kind of started there, right? ChatGPT, I think, at least speaking for myself, I had access to ChatGPT a lot earlier than I had AI infused into my daily workplace activities. So came in it a little bit informed about how prompting works and how to get the most out of it. So I think number one is it's making our day-to-day lives easier, whether it's documentation, creating emails, meeting notes, all of those things that seem insignificant perhaps individually, but they really add up. And so that's been really exciting to see, not just for myself, but for my team. And I get really excited when I hear new Copilot use cases, for example. But then there's the whole other side of it, which is actually vastly different, right? And actually infusing AI and automation into your financial workflows, which will affect your financial outcomes. And I think there is more risk involved with that. that. But there's also a lot of reward that you can reap there. So I would say taking it a little bit slower with the actual implementation of AI with having it embedded into your systems. And so one thing that we talk about sometimes is just the difference of automation versus AI, right? And so on one side you have AI, which while it's very powerful, it can also fail. It can hallucinate. It can, there can be some trust issues there. So making sure you're implementing true AI responsibly while finding opportunity to automate your processes. And in doing that, and with pure automation, that's not going to hallucinate on you, and that can get you really great outcomes and time savings just through automating your workflows.
I love what you said about just slowing down a little bit, because I think everyone's so excited to adopt AI, but there are risks involved. So talk to us a little bit about what are some of the other risks that people should consider during the adoption phase.
So I will go to one of the tools that we use just overall when adopting change in general, because part of that really involves risk management, which is project management. And it's so important in managing any fundamental change to your organization, regardless of what area that you're in. But we find a high level of success with making sure that there is a formal project management around when you are implementing change, but also around when you're selecting how to implement your change or what change you're going to implement. And so part of that formal process involves identifying risks, mitigating risks, and the risks change. It really just depends on the timing and exactly what it is that you're looking at or solving for, but it is a huge importance to make sure that you are not forgetting to make sure that the proper safeguards are in place, that the proper security is in place, and the proper training is in place as well, especially when we talk about some of these real true AI-powered platforms that can sound they're designed to sound very confident, right, with their outcomes. And so making sure that staff are trained in the right way to use these tools responsibly.
Well, thank you, Michelle. It was great to talk to you about AI. It's a very exciting time in accounting, so thank you for sharing your perspective.
Same here. Thank you very much.